India cards right, which we are trying to do now, I'm sure there's a huge scope for us. And we carry out about 2,000 imaging tests every single day. That again is a very, very large number. How the last year has been for us. I just mentioned briefly, though most of you would be aware, just to brush up our knowledge, I'll just tell you as to what we have achieved over the last 1 year. We've set up 23 labs in 45 days in March. It was an enormous task. And the team led by Dr. D. Padale, Ravi is also there from the sales marketing team. I think the team really worked very hard to ensure that we are able to, we got this project from the government of Himachal Pradesh. Most of you are aware about this. We established the lab in 45 days time, and it was some sort of a record which we created. Though it never appeared in Guinness records, we never actually applied for that, but it's nothing short of that. We created some Guinness Book of World Record by conducting over 10,000 blood tests on the World Diabetes Day. So this again is a very, it was a very proud moment for all of us. We had a very successful GI symposium in our focus, in a lab in Hyderabad. And histopathology meet was done under the mentorship of Dr. Fadki and Dr. Ita Borges. He was quite instrumental in carrying this out with the help of other colleagues. Organization's restructuring of lab, as you are aware, we thought that the span of control was quite unwieldy. If you look at the lab directors, they were virtually managing maybe 50, 60, 70 reports. And this was not really a very, very wieldy structure. This is what is about trying to make the structure more pyramidal as opposed to a very flat structure. So we thought, and we realized that first of all, we need 2-3 things which are required to be done. One, that we need to promote our team members who have been working very hard and they have got certain experience backing them. So for this, we created the structure of regional lab heads under the lab directors and the zonal lab heads. So there are now 2 more layers in between the lab head. We have got a zonal lab head, we have got a regional lab head, and then obviously the lab director is there. So this was something which we have been thinking for a long time, but we could give it a shape only in last, I think, 3-4 months time. And I believe this is going to get loads and loads of benefit to the organization. It's important to have a very good span of control. Otherwise, a lot of things start falling between the stools. It's important to have good control, good feedback mechanism, and I'm sure this is going to add some value there. We have also started the process of taking the technologies scientifically. Some time back, I don't know whether we alluded on this point in last conference, we thought it's very important for us to take the technology to the smaller labs or the labs which are not in the main cities. Most of the things were kind of centralized around our Goregaon lab and to some extent in the Gurgaon lab. We thought let's go a little more centrifugally out, and we have now tried to bring the technology in the other labs. And this is a gradual process. As in the first phase, we are planning to equip the 4 large labs with some new technology, and eventually you will see that this technology will get more and more outbound. Will get towards the smaller labs. Will get this technology to the smaller labs. Idea is to make the services and the tests available at the local level. We understand today the way market is moving in every city, whether it's a tier 1 city or tier 2 cities. There are some players who are coming up who are basically showcasing good technology. I think we have to compete with them. But more than that, what is also required is that we justify the usage of technology by getting more and more volumes and by doing a good job, good service for the people. We also thought that it's about time to change our reporting structure by making the reports a little more interpretative. And I'm quite happy to share with you the team has really worked very hard, and most of the tests, about over 2,000 tests, have been kind of covered in this interpretive report thing, and it is live in the clips. Now this is something which is very, very close to my heart, especially. I feel that the way forward is that we need to really educate the masses. We have to educate the prescribers about the new tests. And we have been doing this for a long time. We have conducted many CMEs over the last 1 year. And we reached a higher CME record in a month in November where we held about 50 CIUs. So kudos to the marketing team, sales team, operations team who really worked very closely to ensure that you're really able to reach out to the prescribers. And this is something which keep the prescribers also engaged with us. It's very important for them to understand what we are doing, what are the new tests, what are the new platforms that are coming up, and we have to really walk that extra mile in terms of reaching out to the prescribers. We ran the Sakula campaign, which again was a onerous task. It was not easy to handle such large volumes, but we were able to gather that momentum by bringing the people together, and we carried out close to 1.5 lakh tests under this campaign, which was rapid profiles. And more than 40 tests developed in the last week. Again, as you are aware that the R&D department is working round the clock. You've got under the leadership of Dr. B.R. Das, with our team, the people are from the R&D department here. They've been working to ensure that we come out with the tests which are more and more accurate, they are more and more affordable at the hands of the end customers, and we are able to improve the turnaround time. With this objective, we try to bring out the new tests. Obviously, this team is really working very hard to bring new technologies, new platforms by validating these platforms. Not just that, our R&D department is also responsible for the for creating what we call as the knowledge forum. So a lot of new things are coming out of the stable of the R&D department. Sales team restructuring was done. Now, earlier we used to have one department which was responsible for one team responsible for selling all the tests. Now imagine in a pharma company, as we are able to understand, one foot soldier, he is responsible for selling about 10, 12 odd medicines. As opposed to that, in our repertoire we have got about 3,500 plus tests. Now, how can we imagine a person learning all these tests by heart, going to the prescribers, telling them, first of all, you will not get the time to showcase all the tests, and then if he gets the time, it's very difficult for him to really mug up and learn all the tests. So what we thought in our business that it's very important to create a team which will be looking at the super specialized tests or the esoteric tests or what we call as new tests. And this team was carved out. Now we have got a leader who's a national sales head under the Aspire team. So we gave the name of Aspire to this new team, which will be dealing only with the new tests or the high-end esoteric tests. Indrani, who is there with us today, Indrani has joined us as the national sales head under the wing of Aspire. We've also created a division on oncocare because we feel that the incidence of onco is going to increase with a kind of disease profile as it is emanating in our country. Give or take, today the incidence of oncology, don't hold me for these numbers, but what I've been given to understand is about 4 to 5%. So in all the diseases, I think in any tertiary care hospital, you see about 4 to 5% cases are coming under oncology. Going forward, this is going to go up drastically. Over the next 8 to 10 years' time, it's supposed to go. It will be assessed, so the estimate is going to be about 20%. Now, if that is a fact, then I think it's very important that we need to reinforce our onco division, and that's what we have done. We have also taken a lot of channel initiatives. Channels are very important, and these people are partners who help us to achieve the volumes, reach out to the masses, reach out to the prescribers, and we conducted these initiatives, Sanidhya 1 and Sanidhya 2. Then the synergy meet was held, where 250 meets were held, and 5 in every 250 meets and 5 doctors each in the CC vicinity. So what we did was that every CC, there were 250 CCs, they were given a bunch of doctors, 5 doctors with whom we met up, and we tried to create some kind of buzz around SRL. The branding was done, rebranding actually was done in the top 325 odd collection centers. We thought that the old branding that certain places we found the branding was not really standardized. If it was standardized, it was known out. So we thought it's about time to change the branding, and this is what we have done. For the first time, we held this international speaker program. This was this very famous test, as you're aware, ST2. Dr. Krish had come from the US. We took him around and we held multiple sessions with him. And the second such session is going to happen. In fact, it started only yesterday on September screen. And this is again the idea to reach out to the prescribers and tell them that we have got this prowess. We are getting the leaders not just from India but from outside of India to showcase what kind of products we have in our arsenal. We have been able to successfully integrate wellness, co-marketing and CT into corporate sales. What we thought was, earlier 3 different teams used to go to one customers. Let's say there's a pharma company and they are a customer to us. Wellness team would go separately to meet up with them. Clinical trial team would go separately to meet up with them. Co-marketing team would go separately to meet up with them. And it is not a very easy structure again. Why should 3 different teams go to the same customer? So we kind of brought the teams together, and now we are resting under one group known as the corporate sales. So one person is now able to, if the person is trained, and we are taking a lot of efforts to train people, one person is now able to cater to all these three aspects in one customer. So actually he is making 3 calls while going to just one customer. And secondly, imagine the kind of knowledge enhancement that will happen for that particular person, team member. So this is what we thought, and this is going to again bring a lot of efficiencies in the system going forward. Digital marketing is something which is the future. Facebook, we know the social media, how active it has become. So we are doing a lot of stuff on the digital marketing side. Ravi Agrawal and the team, along with the help of Mr. Radhakrishna Pillai, who is our CIO, they are working hard to ensure that we get the desired results in the days to come. International business again, we are trying to increase the focus here. The market is huge. We are not saying that we are, while everybody feels that competition is very, become very, very intense and there's not much of space left for anybody. But just imagine, I'll give you some statistics which I have shared with you, with some of you. In India, the accessioning to test ratio is only about 2 times. In the hospitals, whether it is Fortis or any other tertiary care hospital, it's close to about 3.5-4 times. Within our system, there are certain labs where the accessioning to test ratio is as high as 7.5. In the Western world, it is 12. I was talking to somebody in the NHS system, since they are governed by insurance. So one of the doctors who is running the pathology lab, he says, my accession to test ratio is 30. I was absolutely flabbergasted. I didn't know what to say. I've never heard about this kind of. So this was as late as July. I met up with this doctor and he said, we are doing 30 tests under one accession. So this is the kind of market which is available to us. It's just about walking that extra mile, reaching out to the prescribers, telling them about our tests that we have with us and how they can prescribe. And mind, it's not something wrong that we are doing. You would know the cost of treatment at least 10 times more than the cost of diagnostics. So we are talking about diagnostics, we are talking about prevention on the wellness side. And maybe perhaps prevention cost maybe 1/10 of maybe diagnostics cost. So I think we want to start early, prevent people from falling sick. If at all they feel they are sick, or even to maintain the fitness level, they need to undergo diagnostics tests. These are much cheaper than getting into the hospital and getting treated for those diseases and ailment which one is susceptible to. So India is a huge market. Today, overall revenue, about 2.5% come from the international market. Whatever collection centers we opened outside, or whatever labs that we opened outside of India, it's only about 2.5% of the business which is generated. Now, our dream is that over the next 5 years, this number should go up to 10%. And for this, we have reinforced the sales and marketing, under the sales and marketing division, the international marketing division, international business division. Dr. Amar Gupta has been there. He's been with us for a long time. He has been kind of mentoring this division. Now we have reinforced this team. Mayank, who reports into Ravi, he has got dotted line responsibility to Dr. Amar Gupta also. So Dr. Mayank is the one with his team. He is now pushing into this direction and trying to gather as much business as possible. And as the time progresses, you will see loads and loads of things happening on the international business side. We have already started the work in commissioning our hospitals in Congo, our labs in Congo. There are 5 labs that have been opened in Kinshasa, Lubumbashi, and a couple of other places. I think 2 we should be able to start in the month of April in the coming year, March or April. We are trying to open these centers in March. But by 2015 end, calendar year end, we should be able to complete all these labs and start commissioning these labs in Congo. very soon I should be able to give a good news. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. Hopefully, we should be tying up with the largest investor in the world, which is part of the World Bank, to start something in Nigeria in a big way. And this is just be a big thing for us in Africa. We have to go to the plans to go to Kenya, Mozambique, Tanzania, so on and so forth. So idea is, there's this continent which is completely bereft of quality healthcare, quality diagnostics. Through our experience, let's go there and make the life easier for the people of Africa. And we are most suited for this purpose for the simple reason our price dynamics are very different from the Western world. I gave you the example of Quest, 65,000 crores as opposed to 3,600 crores. If I do a simple maths, if their volume is 4 times mine as SRL, their turnover should be around 2,600 crores, but they are generating 65,000 crores. This is a kind of price difference. So these are the areas where we want to now move, and very soon we will see we'll be moving to this side. Data mining, we have, as you're aware, we're really proud of our IT prowess. Information technology is the future again.